Welcome to the International Rally of Whangarei, based in Whangarei, New Zealand. I'm down here racing 4 rounds of the 6-round New Zealand National Championship. One of the big advantages with this deal in New Zealand for me is the fact that 2 of the events of 4 of them are 2-pass recce. The big difference between organizer supplied notes like Jemba notes and 2-pass recce is just absolutely night and day. The ability of a driver, or say 10 drivers, to drive down the exact same road and make their own notes as to how they're going to race that road and judge each corner, each tricky situation, every jump, every crest. Everybody has their own way of judging that stuff and figuring out the fastest way to get through there. Myself, this is only my second 2-pass recce. So say if I was competing against someone here that has 50 2-pass recces under their belt, I can just tell you right now, I'm not going to be competitive with them. I can't drive at full tilt on these notes because I just can't trust them. And that's just one of the really unfortunate things about Rally in America is the fact that it's a real hindrance for any American to ever get beyond the American Championship and actually go race, in another country like New Zealand or the PWRC, because you're going to go up against, drivers like Mark Higgins or Anton Allen or Toshi Arai that, each one of those guys has anywhere from 25 to over 100 2-pass recces. And there's just no way I can compete on the same roads with those guys with their level of experience of riding those notes. I judge every corner, every crest, every distance of the entire length of the stage, and I read that out loud to my co-driver, who then writes it down. Right 5 minus, stay in, 30, left 4 minus, and right 4. So that's the first pass. The second pass, we actually go back through. My co-driver reads those notes back to me, and me being able to make sure that they're correct and make sure that I add in anything else or subtract things so that I can drive down the stage hopefully as fast as I can. One of the hardest things about recce that you just don't realize, it's like, oh yeah, you get to drive the road twice, but all it takes out of hundreds of notes that we write today, all it takes is one error, like one error, and you crash. Either that or it takes a couple errors where you wrote 5 but you came through, you're like, whoa, that's a 4. But then it blows your whole confidence in all of your recce. It takes a while, really to get that good at it to where you can say, okay, I'm gonna go flat out on this and have that much confidence in it.
Left 4, stay in, caution, right 3 minus, into left 3 plus, into right 3 plus, 50, crest 30, left 4, tightens 3 lane, left 4, tightens 3 lane.
All right, well, it's the end of the first day of the Rally of Whangarei. It's been a very tough rally type day. After 2 stages, we stopped to rotate the tires, actually put on some fresh tires in the front, and the car overheated. The fans, for some reason, were not working, and we were just sitting there idling, so the car overheated. We went back out in stage 2 and 3, got more confident in my notes. I did do really good notes in the 2-pass recce, so ended up getting a lot of confidence in them and ended up improving my times dramatically on the second running of those stages. Unfortunately, on the second pass of what was stage 3, so it would have been stage 7, came into a corner a little too fast, and I've been warned about this here in New Zealand. The camber tends to be nice when you're in it, but once you get out of it, it sort of peaks off and falls off. And we came in a little too hot and got onto that backside of that camber, and there was just no traction. So we ended up going off and doing, I think, the world's softest roll. ended up in a nice green field in the backcountry New Zealand. So effectively the day was over.
And entry, right 570, left 3 minus, stay in, 3 minus, stay in, and right 5, open, at least she landed on the wheels, you know?
It's a version of Super Rally rules here, so we'll be able to start again tomorrow, no problem. Looking forward to tomorrow, but you know, these things happen, that's rally. When I step into the car and drive down the stage and really being able to push the car and push myself as fast as I can go, there's really nothing else like it. It's hard to explain the feeling of it because it's scary, super scary, and exhilarating all at the same time. And that's the thing with rally, you're not really pushing and you're not really going at full speed unless you're somewhat scared. There's times that I've gotten in the car knowing how fast I have to go to be competitive that I get sometimes sort of sick to my stomach. But that's a feeling you have to have. If you're not willing to push beyond your personal limits as to what's possible in the car, then you're not going to move to the next level and you're not going to be competitive. So, you know, you come over certain crests, you know, on a left 5 over crest, if you're not fucking scared, you're not going fast enough. You know, someone else is going to go faster over that crest. Emma Gilmour had one of the biggest wrecks I think I've ever seen. And it was like a right 5 over a crest and the road just kept dropping away and she just got off the edge of the road and I'd say she probably tumbled 200 feet minimum. And her and Glenn were fine. She had suffered a pretty bad concussion, but the car was done. It was really big wreck, biggest I've ever seen. And that's just the unfortunate thing about this rally. Like, there's some areas that are tough, and if you don't note it correctly in those notes, it'll bite you. Although it was a tough event, I didn't have a good finish. I feel like I learned a lot this weekend and got to drive some of the best roads I've ever seen in my life, and it was a great experience. So I look forward to coming back down here for WRC New Zealand and hopefully do a little better.
The result wasn't perhaps what we expected, but the amount of experience we gained and the amount of miles we drove this weekend was really good for ourselves. And I think we can transfer all this experience to the US Championship right now and keep being strong there.
To be able to be highly competitive in the Group N class in an international event really is my optimum goal at this point. As far as short-term goals go, I'd really like to be a national champion in America. That's been my original goal since when I became Rookie of the Year, and I think that's a realistic goal in the next couple of years. I got into this sport with a love of rally, and I've gone a lot further than I ever expected. There's a lot of pressure put on me, not by my sponsors, not by the team, it's by myself because I want to excel at the sport.
4 into left 3 plus 120.